cigarettes? Regular or menthol?
Welcome to the Regular Menthol podcast where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Chris.
Hello, everybody.
We give a little thoughts on the movie, our experience with it growing up. Then we discuss specific scenes that we like, followed up with a Kino rating. Movie in question this week, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Holy
Wow.
smokes.
1990. Another oldie, if you will.
Yeah.
But a goodie.
And, boy, we will get into that.
Well,
Tell me about, I mean, you're back from vacation, Chris.
yeah.
Relaxed, the battery recharged.
Battery is not recharged. I had a crazy vacation. Expended a lot of energy. Didn't do a lot of vacationing. But kids had a good time. That's what it's all about. So, got super tan, super burnt. I just like burnt, and then I'm like black. So, got super tan. Tell you what, though, man. Not to sound like a wagey, but I'm telling you, I need my routine. I'm down there for a week, and I'm like, I could probably use 4 days off. I don't know if I need a full 7. You know what I mean? You get out of your routine, and you want to just get back into it. It's just one of those weird things. I don't know. I
feel that.
But anyway, it was good. Rejuvenated to a degree, but like I said, ready to get back. This way of things. How about yourself? How you doing, man?
Pretty horrible. I've just had, a mystery sickness for the last week, and
Talk about this mystery sickness.
I mean, it's not the flu, it's not the COVID.
Ooh, the COVID.
All tested, all negative. I just felt like, muscle aches, fever, and yes, shitting water.
The COVID-19. Maybe it's the COVID-20.
It could be. I called the place up after I wasn't healed.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, because it came back negative and everything. They're like, oh yeah, there's like hundreds of viruses you could have. Like,
excuse me?
What? Yeah. So I guess what's the point of naming them then?
COVID X.
But anyway, I'm starting to get over it just now.
Yeah.
Now.
I'll tell you what, man. It's a hell of a thing. You'll make it.
Talking about
we're
10
all
days,
gonna make
dude.
it. We're all gonna make it. Anyway, what's this movie about? This Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, some secret ooze leaks into a sewer and turns a couple of turtles and a rat into some kind of humanoid hybrid creatures. The rat teaches the turtles ninjutsu based on the teachings of his old owner, who would watch do the moves. The turtles then spring into action after a ninja clan appears in New York that seems to have echoes from the past. In a strange twist, they eventually face the Shredder, who was the same guy who killed their master's master all those years ago.
And there you go. There's your movie. I mean, talk to me about this. I'm sure you have some vivid memories about growing up with the Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, there was just crazy turtle mania when I was in kindergarten, which was 89, 90.
Yeah.
Like I was all in, dude. I was all in on turtles back then. I loved turtles.
Yeah.
And like I can remember, I don't know what kid it was, but I remember it was like, oh, this kid got the turtles blimp.
Oh, dude, we had
so
the
cool.
they had the turtles blimp. They had the turtles like van kind of thing, this giant van that they could all fit in. We had that one.
Mhm.
All those cool accessories and stuff you could have. We had the Casey Jones action figure. I remember that one was like badass. But dude, there was so much turtles lore. I mean, you had it on all like the marketing pieces at Pizza Hut. Everything, dude. There was like a Turtles board game that we still have in our parents' house to this day. There was so much turtle stuff. It's crazy.
Dude, these guys who made the
Lunchboxes,
turtles,
all that.
they you know how rich they got?
No.
They licensed their product out to all these things and like action figures, video games.
Yeah.
Everything. And everything was so popular and sold like 1 million a million, of everything, right? These guys, the creators of the Turtles, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, they basically just sat in their room one day and created the Ninja Turtles.
I think I've heard this.
And released it as a comic book. I guess, they were already comic book writer and artists, I guess. But like, imagine that they just kind of sitting around a table and they just released this comic. It sold it was like, I don't know, 4,000 they made the original run. And then it just became super popular somehow. Like through divine intervention, it would be like if you and I, if you and I made a comic book about like Routing Bowl at work one day and decided to release it, and it became like the next day it was like a super all over the world, just super popular, and we licensed Routing Bowl to every kind of possible thing, and we became multimillionaires. That's literally what happened here.
I think, because the first comic, if I looked it up, it was 1984.
Mm-hmm.
So you think about that, and it just takes off in popularity. I mean, it takes a couple years, but then they make this movie, and then it just blows up.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I mean, how many video games are there? I actually looked at that tonight.
Well, there's a ton.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. Those arcade ones, NES, Super Nintendo, Sega was there, perhaps?
Oh, yeah.
Arcade was
Hyperstone Heist.
Yeah.
The Nintendo
they were all great, by the way.
Dude, yeah. They were all good. And I had the Nintendo one. It was one of those games that was like impossible when you were a kid.
Oh, my God.
And you go back as an adult, and you could kind of figure out how to play it and everything, but it's still very hard. It was like, what do they think they're doing releasing this game where they know that all these little kids are going to buy it? And it's like impossible.
Yeah.
I would kick a TV when I was young.
I'm actually worse at gaming as as I get older than I was as a kid. I figured that out recently, but dude, it was big back then. I remember just, dude, that era, all the marketing for it and just all how it was tied to everything. It was crazy. It was
to try and give people an idea that have no idea the what we're talking about.
The craze.
Imagine, it was very similar to Pokemon years later.
Good.
When Pokemon first came out, every kid had to have the Pokemon Red and Blue version of the game. They had to have, the yellow version when it came out. I have to have Pikachu. And they had to collect all the Pokemon cards, all the cartoon. It was a very similar thing, right? But it was in the late 80s, and it was on the tail end of kind of American just toys that they just come out of nowhere and become a cultural phenomenon, like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and all that. Turtles was on the tail end of that.
Mm-hmm. But it was also semi-superhero too-ish. So it had it was a very unique kind of thing, if you will.
Oh, for sure.
But this is one of those movies that you could rewatch, I would say, 100 times. It's like equal part superhero movie, comedy, kung fu type thing if you're into legit kung fu movies. But one thing I'll say is, I could argue that kids in 2025 could actually watch this movie. For example, I was just down on vacation, and my brother has my two nephews into all the oldies and stuff. So they're obsessed with the old Twister movie. We had to watch that while we were down there. And he's like, I play him every time I see him in Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball for Super Nintendo. So we just hack on that. But yeah, so it's one of those things where if you get these kids exposed to it, I get a lot out of it. I mean, I was playing Sonic for Sega with my daughter, who's 4, right? And it's they love it. It's just a video game, but the goal is to get all young kids to consume 80s and 90s entertainment, so we can bring back phrases like cake eater. That right there is the goal to me. so they can stop saying the stupid shit they do now.
We're bringing back 80s lingo, dog.
For real. But talk to me about the first time you saw this movie.
Man, I mean,
Do you remember?
I remember it vividly because this is one of the first times where I wanted to see a movie in the movie theater, and like my parents took me. And this situation, I have very fond memories of this, but it was me and Fluffy on a afternoon matinee seeing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right? I mean, everyone loved Turtles. Everyone in my kindergarten class, we all loved Turtles. So to my mom, it wouldn't seem that strange to go and see this movie, right? It's a kid's movie, right? It's PG or whatever. And I'm thinking about the juxtaposition between my mom sitting in this movie being like, what in the hell is this? And like the reality of the movie being this kind of dark and gritty movie with adult themes.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. We're gonna get into that pretty heavy.
Oh yeah. And it was like, this is borderline rated R movie. What's Fluffy thinking about this? Now, I was a little kid at the time. I had no idea, but I go back now and think, what is this woman thinking about all this crazy stuff in this movie?
It does make you think, man. It's like I said, we'll get into it, but this movie almost seems like it was made for teens, late teens, into young adults. I mean, are the little kids going to understand some of that lingo, some of those phrases? I mean, there are some that are like kind of basic, but anyway, I digress. I saw this. I don't know. I would have probably have been like 8 or so, I think. But again, I have 3 older brothers, so whenever they watched it, I'm sure that I did. But yeah, dude, it was that whole Turtles lore that was going on at the time. So we had action figures. You know, every kid who had a birthday party was at the time, it was themed that. I'm sure you get that a lot now with the superheroes that are out now, but yeah, I don't remember seeing the movie specifically, but I just remember, you know what it was? I think it might have been at my grandparents' house because they had a Nintendo there and we had the video game, and my cousins and all, like, we'd all kind of congregate there. So there's a good chance we saw it there, and it's to the same thing. It's like they're probably wondering what the hell's going on in this movie. But yeah, it's wild. We'll get into that. Who is the literally me character in this movie for you?
Oh, I identify with Michelangelo in this movie because, you know, he's always cracking jokes. He's always the comic relief, I guess you could say, and he's you could see the building blocks of a sarcastic prick in the making in this guy. He's a teenager right now, so by the time he becomes a 40-year-old turtle,
good point.
He's going to be very sarcastic and probably a total ass. But I'm also pretty legit with nunchucks because when I was a kid, I was super into turtles, and my name was Mike, and so I was like, well, this dude's name's Mike. Let me just get his toy set. And his toy set was a pair of plastic nunchucks. So I would just dick around with them all day. And I became like really good with them. And then I got a pair of foam ones, and I got even better with them. And then I just like, when I did karate for your black belt test, you had to use like some kind of weapon, right? You had to do something with a weapon. So I just did nunchucks, like real nunchucks though. Like wooden ones with a chain. And I was just sick at, I didn't have to like practice or anything. I was already just sick at them.
Really?
And like, oh yeah.
They don't hurt when you hit yourself, the real ones? Like if you make a mistake?
Yourself.
Well, I'm just saying, you make a mistake and like it smacks you. Does that hurt?
It definitely hurts, but I was just so good at them that I just didn't hit myself with them. Like, for years, you use the padded ones. And once you figure out how to use them, you really like don't really need to hit yourself. They're sitting in my closet right now.
I'm not surprised. Good Lord. For me, I'm gonna go Leo. Okay, so again, 3 brothers. We kind of unofficially have assigned characters. I was always a big Leo fan, but nothing more than...
Who was Raph?
So Raph was my brother Jason. My brother Matt was Michelangelo. and Justin was Donatello, I believe. But it just, one of those things where you kind of just get stuff at parties or whatever.
Right.
But I don't know if we were that dedicated to it that I recall. But yeah, I mean, it was just, for me with Leo, the twin katanas were just awesome, in my opinion. But yeah, I would say Leo for me. And we'll get into it, but a little touch of Sam Rockwell, maybe, his character. we got to talk about that in its own stance. But yeah, getting back to what you said, it's a pretty dark movie for PG. You know what I mean? It's, some of these fight scenes are, in my opinion, very aggressive. Like, if it's almost like you're watching those retro 80s, 90s ninja movies where, like, that's all it is. They're pretty hardcore. And I will say the choreography is pretty awesome. But talk to me about that.
So this is how they get away with it in this movie. In all the fight scenes, the turtles are joking and making light of everything.
Right.
So it's not that serious. And also they use a lot of quick cuts to not really show like super graphic stuff.
Yeah, impact and stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was thinking about that. Like, imagine this movie without any of the comic relief or the immature behavior from the turtles.
That's
right?
a good way of putting it. Yeah,
It would be a serious movie, dude. Like, this is
serious. Yep.
They basically, like, they made a movie for kids. I think this is a movie for, like you were saying earlier, this is a movie for like teenagers and I would say adults too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can watch it. If it wasn't a giant turtle on screen, this would be a adult movie, right?
Just the beginning, the opening where they're showing the crime and all that stuff. No kid can relate to any of that. They can't understand
exactly,
what that's all
dude.
about.
Yes. And so what they were able to do though was they were taking this adult teenager movie and they put a filter on it that was like a kid-friendly filter. And that filter is the turtles' behavior and some of the goofy stuff that happens in the movie. But, I mean, if you look at the actual story that's going on here, it's very dark.
It is, dude.
Casey Jones is this, I don't know, like a homeless guy that just beats people up and immediately sees April and was like, who's the babe? And just starts hitting on her.
Yeah. I was going to get into that later. He just aggressively starts massaging her when they get to the country house, the farm. Yeah. And then he just grabs her and puts her in the chair and just starts massaging her. Very aggressively. And then it's borderline, she like tilts her head and it's like, what's he gonna do here? I don't know. This is gone from PG to X. I don't know.
Yeah, where are we going with this? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, these characters that aren't the turtles being weird, doing very crazy stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking just the hideouts in this movie are just so awesome and legendary,
dude.
But it makes me wonder. Like, I watched this movie when I was 5, and I'm obsessed with my own bunkers, my own hideout. Like, I'm looking up how to install these fallout shelters on my property that I don't own.
At 5 years old?
Yeah. Well, I'm like, did this seed it right now? Did this seed that need for a hideout watching this movie at 5?
Well, the question is once you saw that cool hideout of the Foot Clan, now that watching it as a kid, all you care about is being a turtle, right? Mm-hmm. But you watch it as you're an older guy. It's like, all right, I think I'd want to be in the Foot Clan.
Oh yeah, dude.
Rather than be a turtle.
Totally. The way they show the Foot Clan is awesome. It makes you want to be part of the Foot Clan. I want to join up to the Foot Clan right now. Forget about being a kid, dude. You go to this warehouse. They have all sorts of electronics, arcades, half pipes.
Yeah.
They're skateboarding all over the place, right? they walks in, the guy's like, anything you want to do it. You know what I mean? He's like, you got any cigarettes?
Kid's delivery is so good. You got any cigarettes? Regular or menthol?
This is the genesis of our name, of our podcast and everything. I don't, dude, I think I met you early on. We started talking about movies and we're like, yeah, we both like Sam Rockwell. Like, how about Ninja Turtles?
Yeah. And I had already watched every single thing in his catalog by that point that I met you. So this was like a secondary thing, but I just thought that was like a fitting, funny thing for the podcast name. But, you know,
Right.
Regardless, I know that I always give flowers for people in the cast and the crew on films. But I'll tell you what, man, the set designs on this, specifically referring to the hideout there, is awesome. But you know what one really caught me was the turtles have their little kind of bunker in the sewers.
Yeah.
And there's just like a lot of nice touches that they have with it. Even down to the couch. You notice this couch, it's kind of like beat up or whatever, but it's I don't even know how to describe it, but it's slanted. You can tell someone's sitting in the one side a lot. Just go back and look at the set in that subway. It's real, or the sewer. It's really cool, man. They just nail it. And again, they just always have the lighting. When Casey shows up with the mask on, they have like pink and purple hues behind him. It's just throughout the movie, dude. They nail it. I gotta give flowers there for that. That's all.
The Turtles hideout is pretty dope too. Like,
they all are.
There's the in their little hideouts, like, dude, they got this place carved out in the sewers. They ran power down there, right? There's a phone in the corner, a payphone that they just took from somewhere and rewired in their house. It's crazy.
It's a whole nother thing to kids watching this movie, because you're watching movies now, it's just like a superhero. You're not really looking at that, but they just have a whole vibe to this movie, just with the locations and the sets and the hideouts, like you said. It's just a whole X factor. Not on top of getting into the whole soundtrack, and the score of this movie are god tier. I found online today just an hour-long score of this movie, and it was done by this guy, John Duprez. Start to finish, you can just listen to this and have it playing in the background while you're working. Absolutely amazing.
The score enhances this movie so much, because it'll cut to some new scene and all of a sudden the score pops in and you're like, it
fits every
time now.
Dude, it fits it. And that's, I think, 80s and 90s, I know I say it all the time, they do such a fitting job, way more than movies nowadays. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but they do such a good job in this movie. It's just perfect.
Yeah, dude. I just want to mention for a second that everything, like this shredder, is so awesome. It's just absolute Kino overload with this dude. Like,
well,
everything
before you
with
get into
this guy
that,
is incredible.
Yeah, so then there's the regular soundtrack. So I just had to look that up, but it's like MC Hammer. there's just a bunch of cool original songs for this. But anyway, talk to me about Shredder.
It's just crazy to think about that this movie is about a Japanese guy that comes to America to kill his rival. And then while he's here, he's like, I might as well just become a criminal. And he's like, what am I going to do here? I'm going to start a cult and just take in all these youths that have no parents or whatever.
Yeah. Genius.
And just become a surrogate father for all these runaway kids and create an army. Yeah. It's like, dude, if you created an army right now, someone would figure it out, because they'd know, but like all these runaway kids, and they're doing crime that is such a low level of crime, it almost goes under the radar. It's like, dude,
he's the architect for Coney 2012. Just without like the kids killing their parents. And
yeah. Damn, dude.
Shredder, man. What a genius, right? What a genius.
one of these runaway kids is Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, man. It's kind of weird because there's really like no other characters in this movie. When you look at the cast, there's just a handful of people, and then he gets this role as lead thug, is who he is, and he has like, I don't know, a handful of lines, but just Sam Rockwell. I mean, folks, yeah.
Is this a case that we discuss an extra that goes above and beyond? Hey, I like the director's like, hey, I like this guy. Why don't you give him a line?
I think,
and then it's Sam Rockwell.
Yeah,
so it's just like, hello, I'm Sam Rockwell, and he just destroys it because it's Sam Rockwell.
I don't even think he just went above and beyond like we always talk about. I think it was pretty standard. I think they liked his look probably, and they gave him a couple lines, and they're like, okay, he's just like the head thug guy. He'll speak for the youth or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's nothing to write home about type of role, but you see how he just kind of evolves throughout the rest of his opportunities. He blossoms pretty quick, but
I mean, it's memorable though, because like when I growing up, I'm like, I remember this dude saying regular or menthol to these kids, going like it's burned in my memory. This scene of them going in this hideout. I'm like, that's Sam Rockwell, dude.
Yeah.
That's one of our goats. And it's like, holy smokes, this is where he got his start.
Yeah, that's where he originated.
It's like, this is absolutely unbelievable to think about.
Well, I mean, you think about any real big name, they all had, not they all, but a lot of them had that. You can go back in their IMDb's and they get that one opportunity, or they might even be uncredited for certain movies, but they all had to start somewhere. So no different than the GOAT.
And it's like these kind of movies. I was just kind of thinking about how would this even be possible? Think about this for a second. Like everyone in New York, all criminals, where's the other criminals in this movie?
What do you mean?
Where's the drug dealers? Where's the mafia? Right? This dude, Shredder, so this is the genius of his plan. He rolls in and he's not involved in drugs. He's not involved in any kind of normal crime. He's involved in very low level theft.
Yeah.
And no one cares about that.
That's a good point.
If you went to the cops and you went like, hey, someone took my TV off of my balcony, like they wouldn't care, right?
Yeah.
That's how he gets over until he grows his power to such a level that he's unstoppable, right?
Genius.
But I was like, you notice in all these movies about like martial arts and stuff, is that like, where are the guys with the guns? You know what I mean? Like everyone's doing karate and stuff. I'm like, where? Like they got this Foot Clan has like swords, and I'm like, wait a second, yeah, like this doesn't seem feasible.
Think about the origin of it. It's from Japan, so they're from like they don't rock guns in Japan. They're strictly hand-to-hand combat and swords.
And Splinter, it almost is even more effective. Because if they started shooting people, that would draw more attention.
Exactly. Yeah. Splinter and Shredder are both of the old school technique they keep referencing all movie long.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're all about the old country. So they don't use guns.
And like another thing that's kind of I thought about this the other day and I was kind of blown away. It was like, isn't it funny in this movie how they had these, giant turtle creatures and rats.
Yeah.
And it's like there's very little shock by people that encounter these guys. Like there's a scene where they bring April back and she kind of freaks out.
I was going to mention
like
that,
she accepts it almost immediately.
Almost immediately. I don't want to pick. I was thinking about this when I was watching this. Like I don't want to pick apart all the obvious things because they're all obvious, right? As opposed to Face Off, which we just discussed, but where I basically just shit on the movie the whole time, but I still love it. But to your point, yeah, dude, they just leave April's apartment, which is clearly on the top level once you see that it's on fire, and they just walk down the hall. What if someone sees them? Do you think they're going to report to the police? They just saw 4 giant turtles walking down the hall.
Right.
Yeah. But to your point, immediately she freaks out and then she starts like talking to him. Then they're just right in her apartment. moments later, laughing, joking around. She's just not freaked out by like, let me understand how you exist. Are you going to kill me?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like, it's a giant turtle, and yeah, they're like being jokey and stuff, and you can tell they're kind of cool. But at the end of the day, this is some weird mutant creature in your house. Like, what? How are you not freaking out?
Yep.
Even Casey Jones meets him for the first time, Raph, in the park, and he's kind of like, "What are you, a punker,
dude?"
It's
like we used to quote as kids all the time, like, "Look, dude, I don't want to fight you." And they're like, what are you, some kind of punker? Like, what does that even mean? I guess it's like a punk rocker. But the one thing that caught me on that funny opening scene with Raph and Casey was they all have these Cali surfer accents, and then you just have Raph who's like this like heavy Italian, this diesel Italian accent. What's that about?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's part of the, like, they're not necessarily surfers because they're from New York.
No.
I guess they're skateboarders, though.
Yeah.
So maybe they're trying to implement some of that culture into the movie.
But why
or
three
something?
of them are one way and then the other one's like this?
I don't know. Raph's supposed
40-year-old Italian guy.
One.
Really?
Makes no sense. Corey Feldman plays Donatello, by the way.
Yes, I did see that.
Once you realize that, you can't like unhear it.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
You're like, oh,
100%. But no, getting to the practical effects of this movie, you just see when they talk, it's like the lips move pretty damn well with and I did see this in the credits. It was Jim Henson's whatever it's called, puppet company or whatever. They were the ones that did the animatronics for it.
Yeah,
did a pretty good job.
Just an unbelievable job too. Because what's crazy, we were just talking about like how people accept the fact that there's these giant mutants in their life, right? We as the audience accept it almost immediately too.
Yep.
Like I'm almost like not even seeing a turtle. I'm seeing like a human being that looks green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's what they were going for exactly, but I think it's cool.
But well, not only that, but just the actual suits that they're wearing, they're pretty maneuverable. They're doing like spin kicks, and they have these chunky, well, not only the backs, but the actual muscles in the arms and legs. They're not easy to move around, I'm sure. And the mass for that being that big, which it's just pretty impressive for 1990.
It just made me think of something. Would you consider the turtles to be natty?
No, they're juiced up on it, on that green juice, that green ooze juice. What's in that ooze,
not
bro?
Certified not natty.
Well, it's funny because he says, remember the line? He says, they see Casey Jones, and he's like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "Wayne Gretzky on steroids."
On steroids?
But let me ask you. I ask you this every movie, pretty much. This one's no different. Let me get a loadout check here on this movie. I know we just said there's no guns, but let me get your tier level for these guys. I mean, I know we have dual katanas. Donatello has a bow staff. Michelangelo has nunchucks. And I didn't know this one. I had to look up what Raph's are. They're called a pair of sai.
Yeah.
Familiar with these weapons? Have you worked with them?
Oh, yeah. I'll give you the breakdown here, okay, of the turtle weapon tiers. Now, in my tier list here, it's not going to include fighting capacity of the actual turtles. Because I don't know who's the better fighter, right?
Gotcha.
I'm just going on straight weapons. And here's my rationale. The longer the weapon is, the better it is. And so Leonardo has the best weapon with 2 swords. He's got 2 big katanas, right? Now, they can reach out and hit you, and you can't hit him because unless you have like your own sword or whatever, right? And they're sharp. So if he reaches out and touches you, he can kill you, right? That's the best weapon. Weapon number 2 on the tier list is the bow staff because he can hit you from farther away than you can hit him. Okay, that's my rationale. And if you have any qualms about this, think about any of the Turtle video games.
I was literally just going to say that, dude. Donatello is OP.
Donatello's OP, Leonardo's next in line.
Right.
Because it doesn't differentiate in the game.
But
between,
it's
like,
kind of
cutting and
BS.
stuff.
Yeah, it's BS in the game, though, because like it extends super far, way longer than
Right.
it is. But that's a whole different conversation.
So, I mean, that's basically my rationale. Now, like, then I would say nunchucks are next,
Mhm.
and then the size. Basically,
Which-
you can reach out and touch someone with the nunchucks, and they can, like, the size. I don't even think are that great of a
They're
weapon.
not that great, but I think that says something to the fact that Raph might be the best fighter.
Yeah, I was going to say
And they kind of
I
reference
think
it in
Raph
the movie.
is-
Yeah, they kind of
Yeah.
say something. They don't really reference it, but the body language is that Raph is the best fighter.
right. Like, he's definitely the angriest.
Well, I mean, that's part of it. But dude, getting into some of these scenes, man, it's the opening segment, and it's like this montage of crime across the city, and this old lady is sitting on her balcony, right, and she's watching this DOS old school computer monitor for a TV, and out of nowhere she turns around and then turns back around and this thing just floats off screen, assuming that it's getting stolen. And she makes this noise. It's clearly a voiceover. It's like, huh? If you go back and watch just that one little segment, I laugh every time I see it. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
But the opening segment, it's still good though. Also, I don't know if you caught this, a very good amount of product placement in this movie. You got Domino's. I saw McDonald's, Bazooka gum, Roto-Rooter reference. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Catch any of that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dude, I just, I haven't thought about pizza delivery in many years. I just assume that no one does it anymore.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's a crazy thought that it obviously exists. Like, you know, I looked it up online. I looked up the Domino's website, and you click on delivery and whatnot. But back then in the 1990, what you would do is you would call up this local, somehow you'd get the number for a local Domino's, and they'd be like, "What's your address?" And you give it to them, and some dude just rolls to your house. And I was thinking about how, like, that used to be like a legitimate job. You could actually make good money doing that.
Mhm.
And it would be like tax free. I mean, not all of it, but like you're getting paid in cash and tips. Everyone had cash back then.
Yep.
You could, great for like after college, or like you get home from summer vacation or whatever and become a delivery guy. If you have a car, have some beater car, like that was a good job, and you could make some good money doing it.
Right.
Not anymore. No, obviously not anymore.
Mm.
But
Well, now it's all.
I just remember, like, I remember after this movie, watching it and everything, we had Domino's delivery. Like, oh, let's try this Domino's out, dude. And obviously, there's a million ads for Domino's back then.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things. It was like, if they were late, you got money off.
Yeah. Well, he gets $3 off. He's like, "You're late, dude. $3 off," which he wasn't, I guess, not going to tip him anyway. So, because it was $13 for the pizza,
Yeah.
he gives him a 10.
Diabolical to not tip that guy, but whew.
I did see something about there was some kind. I don't even know how I saw this, but Domino's somehow being involved in that, and that I don't know if that got them on the map or they were in agreement with this movie funding. I forget how it was, but it benefited Domino's being in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, but
Absolutely. Yeah. Dude, there's this, I forgot about this scene until I watched the movie again the other day to prepare for this. There's this insane scene. It's awesome. I can't find it anywhere online. I was looking for it today. I was like, I gotta rewatch this. It's where April is asking questions to Chief Stearns outside his office at the station.
Yeah.
And she brings up the Foot Clan, right? And Stearns has like no idea what she's talking about, whatever. It cuts to a silhouette of the shredder. You're like behind the shredder sitting in darkness, and all the only light is coming from like 10 stolen TVs that he has in this room stacked on top of each other, where he's watching the news and April O'Neil start talking about the Foot Clan, and he just grabs this knife and launches it at a TV, at her face on the TV.
Bro,
And
which version did you watch? I watched that exact scene.
yeah. Well, I get it's in the movie.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it wasn't in there.
But no. It's in the movie. It's just I couldn't find it. Like, there's no clips of it anywhere on.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So like when I went back, I was like, let me re-watch this again because this is so cool and everything. But I just love the idea of Shredder just sitting alone in the dark,
menacingly,
just stewing about the fact that this reporter is talking about the Foot Clan on TV. By the way, which is another crazy thing, is like a reporter just going off and being an actual reporter.
Yeah,
and talking about
that.
Like these crimes. Yeah.
Well, I guess, how does a reporter get an audience with the chief of police of New York City? And why does he even care?
Yeah.
Did these interactions
I guess
happen,
I guess she's like an investigative reporter. And
what are those?
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you think about it, I don't know if anyone watches the local news, but I think it used to be more legit back in the day, where an investigative reporter would kind of just figure out what stories to do on their own.
Right. Yep. So it's 1990, so there's still a real thing.
Yeah. This is 35 years ago, dude. This is like crazy to think about, but holy smokes, it's 35 years ago.
Dude, you know who's my character? I forgot about this. Tetsu. This is my guy, right? He's this angry, focused Foot Clan leader who's a master ninja with a mustache.
Sick stash. Balls maxing like a maniac.
Oh my God, dude. He's like so locked in. And his character just rules, man. I don't know. His drip, he's got like that little, I don't even know what that thing is that hangs off the shoulders there and then cuts across your body, and it has the logo on the back, and it's kind of like a robe.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's my
It's
guy.
like a karate outfit that's way over the top.
Over the top. Another thing too, dude, is you have these 90s movie lines, right? And they would never make it into modern films, okay? So you remember with the scene where April's getting interviewed by that other reporter? she refers to the foot, and the other reporter's like, I'm sorry, the foot? And April goes, I know, it sounds like a funky club for podiatrists. Like, would you ever have caught that?
No, dude.
Like, I tell you, you're an adult.
Like, I'm a kid. I had no idea what she's talking about. And it's kind of funny because the turtles all react to it.
Yeah.
They're like, what?
They laugh. I'm like, a funky club for podiatrists. Like, so dumb, but it's good. But, yeah, I don't know.
So, like, quick thinking on April's part.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, so I've always kind of viewed this movie too, because then it cuts to, they get out of the city, right? And then they go to this farmhouse that she has in the countryside. How's April affording this? Is this like an inheritance of some sort?
It's you know,
but this movie,
watching this movie now.
But it's funny because this movie I remember vividly as a kid. I always remember this as like in two parts, and it's almost halfway through the movie, right? Like 45 minutes, where they go to this and they kind of regroup in this countryside and get ready for fighting Shredder. But yeah, anyway, getting back to it, why does she have this house? What's going on here?
Well, I mean, it's funny watching this movie in the current year where no one can afford a house. Right. It's like, dude, April is she just sitting on like tons of money? Who knows? I thought to myself, maybe her dad died. She references maybe her dad made a ton of money and left it to her. You know,
I guess he wouldn't have had to. I mean, if this is on the outskirts far enough, it's pretty run down, and he made it inherited this house. Who knows?
He may have inherited the house. He might have. Who knows? It might have just not been that much money.
Right.
I mean, it's a dilapidated house in the middle of nowhere, probably. So, I mean, $90s dollars. Yeah, I could maybe see this happening. April O'Neil is probably a highly paid investigative reporter.
Well, she isn't.
This was an actual serious position back in the day.
Well, yeah, exactly. At the end of the movie, she talks about how she doesn't even have her own office, but he says, you will be the highest paid Well, in the city, which is funny because she comes out of this like shithole building when she gets done her shift at the beginning of the movie. But here nor there, we're not nitpicking. But I'll tell you what, man, the scene where they're in the house and you got the music playing in the background and Raph's all beat up in the tub and Leo's just sitting there in the chair, kind of hunched over, and she does the drawing of him, if you remember. That's like a pretty deep scene right there.
Oh yeah.
Did you catch that?
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like Raph is in a coma. He gets put into a coma by the Foot Clan because they beat his head in. And like, it's kind of wild to even think about. They just put him in a bathtub and, you know, and then he gets up. Like, what do I gotta do to get some food around here?
And he sounds like it too. He does a good job of selling it. He's like, what's going on, man? What's it gotta take to get some food around here? But yeah, I just think I always love that scene because it's just like super, I don't know. It's a very emotional scene, but it's really well done.
Well, that's why this movie's good, dude. It's because, you know, they hit you with stuff like this.
Oh yeah.
Like, you're like, oh man, this is more than just some goofy kids movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But they eventually, you know, get back to the city and whatever, and scumbag Danny's running back and forth playing double agent, whatever. But there's a showdown between Tetsu and Casey Jones, and Tetsu like knocks him to the ground, and he launches into one of these boxes and gets this like three wood driver or whatever golf club, and he just launches Tetsu. But this was the introduction to Casey Jones with golf clubs. I don't know if you remember this, but did you have any of the, you said you did have the action figures?
Yeah, I never had Casey Jones. I had like Donatello and
Casey
stuff,
Jones.
and like I had the Fly dude too.
The what?
Remember that character that like turned into a fly from the cartoon?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Baxter or something?
Yeah, Bagger. Yeah. Well, so Casey Jones' character comes with a golf bag, 2 bats, and a putter. So nothing that he actually uses in the movie, but not a driver, not a hockey stick, but a putter. But it's just, I always just thought it was funny. I'm like, this guy has like golf clubs he's just beating people with, which is pretty cool.
I love their confrontation, these two, where
it's a boss battle.
He's this Japanese dude, and he's doing some like karate thing where he goes like, "Hah!" And then Casey Jones is like shitting on him. He just goes like,
you gotta get that checked out.
Like, ah!
He's like, yeah, you gotta get that checked out.
They'll promise you and he'll fix that right up.
Yeah, that's what he says.
And then he just gets like punched in the face.
Again, dude, it's a perfect example how quickly this movie could turn. It's at the end, so they're kind of fighting the Foot Clan right up to the roof of the building. And like you referenced earlier, you know, everything's like jokes and kind of lighthearted with the turtles. But then like you have the turtle music playing, and then they meet Shredder, and like it gets real pretty quick.
Yeah.
That's
the music changes, and then you're like, oh, dude, like this guy is legit. This dude's serious. All the other Foot Clan dudes kind of like walk away in the background.
Yes.
And then this dude just like pulls a spear out, and he's like, all right, let's rock. And like just owns all of them.
And then they go back and regroup, and it gets kind of funny again. He's like, all right, when do we lose the upper hand here? That's the thing about it, man. I think it's just like the juxtaposition of like the comedy, and you're watching this like serious, because again, I was big into some of these ninja movies back in the day, back when I was a kid, like the hardcore ones. And you get something like this where it's kind of shows bits of that, but then it has the comedy factor, and it's it's a kids movie. But yeah, they do such a great job of that.
I do like you're right. It goes from like serious to jokey back to serious.
Yeah.
Like Splinter shows up on the top, and is like Orokusaki, and he pulls his mask off and reveal like his clawed face.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to Raphael, and he's just like, it's him.
But dude, that's the thing though, is this movie's super heavy on fight scenes, right? And it's like, if you, obviously you've seen the second one, right? And The second one is, I think, because of the success of this one, is more about, the characters and the dialogue. I think Vanilla Ice is in it.
Yeah.
Which has his own scene, which of course rules. But there's more fight scenes, I think, in this one. And it was kind of, I think they just didn't know how it would perform or how well it would do. So they had a vision of it and they did a damn good job. But yeah, that ending scene, the ending fight scene is like, for me, it's peak, right? When that music just starts playing with Shredder. And I don't know, for me, it's just such a great scene. And then like
Shredder falls off the building.
Yeah.
This dude just instantly is like, let me kill him.
Yeah. This is the thing.
Let me crush him.
Every
to death.
superhero movie, just because of the audience nowadays, it's like they're not allowed to kill, but you have Casey Jones just going, whoops. And he just knocks the trash truck compactor to just crush Shredder. It's like, there's nothing implied there. He just crushes him.
You're like, did this guy just kill someone?
Mm-hmm.
This guy just killed a man.
Killed him. Oh, yep. And that was that. But yeah, I mean, there's your movie right there. I mean, peak.
Well, tell me about your, how do you rate this movie, King?
Dude, I'd say 7.9. I'm not ready to go 8, but I'll go as high as 7.9. But no, it's like I said before, dude, it's the perfect blend of fighting, especially kung fu, if you will, humor, and storyline. It's to bridge the comic into a real movie. And I think you see them not being able to do this nowadays with a lot of things. And I would argue is more difficult back then without CGI. And, you just have practical effects and animatronics, and they're still able to make it a really good movie. But yeah, it's like you said before, it's a bit gritty for being a kid's movie, but looking back, that's probably what made it so good and why we think it rules to this day. But yeah, I'd be interested in seeing how they can make a Turtles movie nowadays without CGI, because I think they did the one in like 2023 or whatever, and it was that animated one or CG. I don't even know what they call it now, but it just has such a weird look to it.
Yeah.
It's just so dumb.
Dude, they can't do it with CGI, because if you watch that movie, and I never watched the full movie, I just kind of refused outright, but if you watch the clips of that CGI movie, there's a concept of like the uncanny valley where your eye is seeing it and it's picking up that something is not right because of this CGI shit.
Yeah.
Like, they have to do actual creature effects. And they did it so good in this movie that you don't even realize that these are crazy, weird guys in suits. You're actually just accepting them as like human beings.
Right. And it's, you can see, the eye can obviously see there's animatronics moving their mouth. But when you see the eyes that seem human in the costume, and then obviously the arms and legs and the movements, you're like, okay, yeah, this is just a person, but it's way better than you would see with CGI. Yes, exactly, dude. They accomplished with creature effects in this movie what CGI could not, and that is tricking the eye. You're somehow accepting that this is perfectly normal in this movie. Mm-hmm.
You accept everything as totally rational and normal. Whenever you're seeing these guys, and it's like, it's crazy to think about, like, all these Foot Clan guys are fighting these turtles. Not one of them is stopping, like, dude, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Like, they're all just accepting the fact that there's just these mutant turtles that live.
And Shredder never tells them or briefs them on it. I mean, he has that one open meeting where he kind of says stuff or whatever, but he talks to Tetsu first. So a bunch of these clan guys have been already fighting the turtles. Not really briefed into anything. It's just like, hey, you got to go fight these mutants. I don't know.
You have to fight these roided out giant turtle looking creatures. Like,
who can do kung fu.
I'd be like, dude, all right, you got me with the warehouse, the arcades, the SIGs. Okay. And then we start training and like, we're going to be part of your army and start doing karate and stuff. Cool. I'm all in on that. But you expect me to just sit here and see these giant mutant creatures and not say something? You expect me to just go and fight these guys in karate and not freak out? Like, what?
Ain't happening. But they do. They're loyal fighters.
And they do it like it contributes to you as the audience, just accepting it as reality. It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyhow, give me your Kino rating on this thing.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, like, I'm right there with you. I give it an 8.
Oh.
I mean, let's take stock of what this movie is. What's that?
You made the leap to 8?
I made it to 8, dude. Like, this is a high-level movie to me.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy to think about this, but I think this is, like, a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really good.
Yeah.
Okay?
You get
like,
into screaming at me?
I could sit here, like, could randomly pick this movie up and, like, watch it, whenever and be thoroughly entertained by it. But like, for a second, let's take stock of what this movie is supposed to be. This movie is like a goofy kids movie with weird mutant turtle characters doing martial arts. On the surface, that is not a good recipe to have a really good movie.
Right.
But they accomplish that, and like, they make it a really good movie. Why? Like, what is it that elevates this movie to how good it is? And and I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Take the sequel, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: Secret of the Ooze. It's not as good. It's not a good movie. Like, there's elements that I like in it, but that is like a kids movie.
Yeah.
It's way more jokey. There's less fighting in it.
Yeah.
There's way more cartoonish elements. This is like a good movie, I think, because they were like, dude, we have a really crazy adult story. Like, let's just tone it down a little bit.
They didn't know
kids.
how to perform, and then they had to refine it, and they came out with 2. Like, okay,
yeah,
so
like two,
the feedback,
two like
this is what people like best about it, and they could reach a larger audience with it. And they probably got a little kickback from parents, like, this is a little bit over the top, but
100%.
That's probably what happened.
Two is like the money movie. Yeah. 2 is the marketing, the money, the toy line.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this movie
Bebop and
Rocksteady, the whole, cartoonish element of it.
Yeah.
This is like a good movie. Like, if you took out all the elements, the weird cartoonish stuff from this movie, it's a solid crime movie.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd agree.
And you add in like these weird elements, and it's something super unique. Like, it's a good movie with this weird, unique stuff on top of it that attracts kids. Like, I don't know, dude. It's a very good movie, and it's like, I think people are like, this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, dude. It's not like we're talking about Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's way better than just some like goofy movie for kids.
I agree with that 100%. Impossible for them to make it nowadays. Folks, if you get a chance on a Friday night, get some takeout pizza, maybe a 2-liter of Coke or Pepsi product, and watch this movie. It'll be worth it. Get you in the next one.